Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show, where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 1 p.m. That's Central Time. You can find us on the radio at icradio.media, where we are Fox News affiliates. You can also find us on television, Channel 182 on Charter Communications, syndicated on Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com and continue sending email. We definitely appreciate that. Send it to Donna at donnasedge.com. And I'll have to tell you, I'm getting a lot of emails now. A lot of folks are upset about the country and the shape we're in, the possible assassination. And it was definitely an attempt to assassinate. And I think we all know where this all came from. I've got Bud Cornwell with me right now. Great to have you on the show today.
Thank you, ma'am. It's always a pleasure to be part of the Donna's Edge. That's a great description of you. You're on the edge. You're going out there and finding the information that we need to pass to many people, because this media world is very confusing, right?
It is, and I'll have to tell you this: people are searching. They're finally. I mean, everybody wants to believe the United States, all the media, everything is fair, but the harsh reality is it's not fair.
No,
that's why I love the news agents that we have, available for us. Like the Newscaster Studio has been awesome, and a number, and you're on that as well, Bud. So. I mean, where you can actually say the truth and not worry about being shut down. That's worth a lot. What are your thoughts?
No, it is. So let me give you an example of the great truth of what the Constitution is, right? The Constitution is the truth of this country and how it was developed through the gospel of Jesus Christ. If you don't agree with me, it's okay. But these founding fathers defeated a massive tyranny of England using the Bible and their faith. And he supplied them, just like Trump supplied them life and liberty and justice. And if you don't think for a second that Trump in that assassination attempt is not a miracle, well, maybe we need to talk.
But that's no argument. That's no argument at all. When you can see the pictures, of where the bullet was heading.
Absolutely.
And he just turned his head, and had he kept his head in the same spot, we would have been burying President Trump.
Yeah. And then Civil War, maybe. I don't know. It doesn't matter. God saved Trump. Therefore, give us a chance. Think about what I'm telling you, to come back to God so he can heal our country. But here's the thing I want to talk about is this individual on a platform called Getter that I'm part of. He posted Michael Johnson. You know who he is, the leader of the House.
Mm-hmm.
And he was adamant that all the verbiage that he said, that we can hold Kamala's that's what I call her, Kamala Harris, as a non-citizen to become the president. And I responded, no, the Constitution of the United States has 3 requirements to be a president: born in the United States, We all understand that, right?
Mhm. Right.
Uh, Being part of a uh, constitutional environment, senator, legislator, etc., right? And they are not against the United States. It's the best way to explain it. So I told this arrogant right wing person, think about that, that the Constitution allows this person to be president. And they're trying to use the fact that her parents were not citizens, both of them. But she is born in the United States.
Mhm.
And the Constitution says if you are a natural citizen, then you can run for president. And therefore, she can. And I was attacked over and over again. But you have to understand how the left works and how the right works. And many of these comments that go back and forth is no, and Mike Johnson stood up and said, we're going to hold her accountable. And this is crap. Absolute crap. The Constitution is the law. She can be the president. I hate to say that because we're attached to truth and we don't want another Biden or even worse Biden, but we have to believe in the Constitution of the United States. And this is critical that we understand that we must get out and vote across this country to defeat this massive evil Democrat Party that has turned into communism. They hate this country. And Obama started this. And instead of them being patriots of America, they, what I would call, sucked up the Kool-Aid, right? Mm-hmm. And said, we're going to transform America. To what? To communism, to complete control, tyranny, and eliminate freedom and let everybody in this country just do whatever they want. They can rob, they can do everything that is evil. And this organization doesn't hold them accountable.
Yeah, but this organization thrives off of chaos. They love it. And this is what they think. They think, okay, they're busy working, they're busy taking care of kids, they're busy fixing supper, they're busy going to the grocery store, they're busy gardening like I am. So they're not going to notice anything. Okay, so we're going to pull the wool over their eyes, and then we're going to shame them if they notice. They don't want you to have a mind of your own. They don't want you to think. And so that's where they've got us right now. Too many people are being shamed into the truth, into telling and speaking the truth. That's what's happening. So there's a representative who is from South Carolina. She got some fire in her. I'm going to tell you what. So she was on the discussion. Did you hear about this? She actually said, I can't say it because I'm a Christian radio station. So I can't say exactly what she said. But I'm going to tell you what. I'm in the fight with this woman. I like her. And let's see, I've got her name right here. Her name is Nancy Mace.
Yes.
And so she's sitting there.
Not Pelosi.
No,
Mace. Yeah. She even said that. I'm not Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah. Yep. Well, So the media is going on as if she is, as if Nancy Mace was just on an unhinged rant. That no, that's not true. That I saw the whole thing. So this is what
Yeah.
happened. This moron who's head of the Secret Service, and yeah, moron. I've thought of other words, but this is the
Yep.
nicest I can think of right now. Okay, she's just sitting there, not answering anything, or just saying, "I don't know." I just, you can see it was staged. She had been coached on what to say and what not to say during this hearing.
Yep.
Well, of course, I mean, I would have done the same thing. I would have been like you do your kids. You know, your kids got in a fight at school or something. And I want to tell you the truth about it. You're going to come a little bit come to Jesus moment on those kids, right? That's all this woman is doing. She's having a come to Jesus meeting with her, and she's acting. This woman is acting like a child. The director of the Secret Service. She's acting like a child and won't answer anything. So that's where we're at right now. People
Well,
say, I plead the fifth. They do all this to keep from telling the truth, and it seems as if the laws are on their side.
well, the difference, as I see it, is the swamp, as we call it, right, is so intimidating towards the truth. Doesn't matter what branch or Republican, Democrat, what your views are. But what happens, and it has been happening for many years, at least 30, 40 years in this country, is what many of us call the uni party, right? What these people are doing is they're protecting their verbs or their voices to get some kind of response from these people. And when they don't respond, they don't have the gonads to continue that discussion to bring them out. It doesn't matter what party. What I'm saying is Congress is weak. They're
Yeah,
very weak, right? And
for a few.
yes, they're Marjorie Taylor Greene is awesome, and on the other side, AOC is awesome. Don't shoot me in the face. Point I'm making is,
Can I do this?
no, I agree. I'm not saying I like her, but this is what we need. We need fire, people to stand up and give their voices in Congress and do that debate process. If we don't do that, then one or the other of these swamp people will lead, and then America, and especially in the propaganda side of it, whether you're Republican or not, they're going to believe that's the truth. No, it's very, very simple. Very few people get elected and go into that swamp and support Americans. They get elected because they know I make $120,000 in my company, and I'm going to leave after 4, 6, 8 years, and I'm going to be a multimillionaire. This is the issue. And how do you do that? What you do is you do not support the truth or challenge the truth in Congress.
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong about that at all. So I remember one of our own. I won't say who he is, but you know who he is. And so we had a Judge Jackson who refused to define what a woman is. What's the difference between a man or a woman? This is when she was trying to have that position. So one
Great
of
example.
our own people in Alabama
Yep.
wanted to have a meeting. He wanted to discuss this with her before he made his decision. Well, now I didn't get on Facebook and I didn't do a public rant, nothing like that. I sent him a private message and I said, I really don't understand why you have to meet with her before you make your decision. She said publicly, she does not know how to define the difference between a man or a woman. If you don't know what the difference between a man and a woman is, you don't need to be running a kindergarten, let alone a country. You don't need to. Of course, he hasn't returned my calls since, but
Yeah.
but he said he was trying to be diplomatic. So I want to ask you a question. In your opinion, when a person in office says they want to be diplomatic, what does that mean nowadays versus say 100 years ago?
Oh, I'm sitting here emotional because of what you're saying. See, 100 years ago, the the Lincoln, just use Lincoln as an example. He didn't want to be a politician. He didn't necessarily want to be the president, but his constituents, he was a lawyer in Illinois. They pushed him because they knew that he can go into this environment and make changes. They didn't have a clue that he would be involved in the Civil War and all that. And back in the day, they did their time, they served America, they went back into their environment and, continued as a citizen. But what the difference is, for example, Pelosi, Biden, 50 years, just add them up, right? What's the lady that just died? Uh, Something Lee. Can't remember her name. Great example. 30 years in the position. So the bottom line is this, is we have failed as a nation, as people in our country, to understand that same principle that was put in the Constitution for people to serve us. And now the majority, trust me, the majority, there's a few out there we talk about, but the majority of these people are no longer viewing their assignment, as I would call it, in the House, Representative, even in the Supreme Court, as supporting the people. I'm not talking about the minority, the people that we would call as a activist, right? Because there's a lot of stuff that's going in there. And what's unfortunate is a lot of the quote minority groups have more power in our judicial and legislative system to promote their sick minds. And so what we're dealing with is we're dealing with a failure of doing what is right, not what these radical people think, but doing the Constitution. And it's very hard to absorb this,
Yeah, it is, especially when we have people in office who claim I want to be diplomatic. No, you need to
Right.
speak the truth, because my
Yes.
idea of being diplomatic is apparently different from 99.9% of our elected officials' mind of what being diplomatic is. Being diplomatic is not afraid to speak the truth. I mean, you don't have to do
No,
it.
absolutely.
As a matter of fact, I know that on a daily basis for my entire life, we've probably run into people who were confused about their gender. Possibly, I'm going to say probably so,
Yeah.
and most
Same
of them
here.
have said,
Same here.
"Well, bless their heart. I hope they find God." That's all we've
Yeah.
said. We've not like killed them or anything like that. I felt sorry for people who were that confused. I really have. It's the people who are in office who are causing this great divide. And it's a great one. It is like beyond a great divide at this point, because they love chaos. And if you can divide people, well, then you got them. If you can just divide people where two people can't think the same and people are afraid to use their own brain to figure things out, well, then that's where they got you. And that's not going to happen with me. It's just not going to, and not with you either.
No, absolutely not. And uh, Thomas Sowell says it very, very clearly about this leftist communist mentality,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And it's very simple. Is they have no connection with the truth, the real truth. So they make up the truth. And give you a great example. You know, these pride parades or whatever. This is a wonderful example I use. New York, places like that. We're talking about men and women riding bicycles completely nude in front of children
Mm-hmm.
and say that this is acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
And the politicians do not react to that.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter which side. Again, I'm not talking about what I'm talking about is the evil that has encompassed our world and our country. But we don't have people, or not a lot of people, that will stand up against this evil. And, you know, they're talking, like you're saying, you know, man and woman. That's the family foundation. And to think that we see this live on video is it's absolutely insane.
Yeah, but you know something? We're seeing parents, though. It's not just elected officials either now. We're seeing
Yes.
parents who are actually bringing their kids to these events. And it's not happening now just in New York or Chicago
Right.
or where
Yeah.
it's happening right here in our own backyard. So I know in Albertville, there was a restaurant who wanted to have, they wanted that act coming in, and
Yep.
they did. There were stupid parents who were bringing their kids to this.
Yep.
What kind of a parent are you who's going to allow this confusion into your little child's mind? Now, don't get me wrong. I really am not into porn. I don't even want to see a man and a woman making out in public. I mean, that's a private thing. But I'm talking about people who are confused with what sex they are. They don't know what their sexual preference is. I mean, and then I've had people say, "Well, Donna, you don't know what you're talking about." So the people who know me in this area, my dad was gay. So I don't want any smart mouth saying anything to me. Now, did I love my dad? Yes. Did
Yes.
I forgive
And
him?
we should.
Yes.
Yep.
Because from what I understand about God and his commandments, I can tell a white lie. And it's no different from anybody sinning any other way.
Absolutely.
So
And
so that's not my
Donnie, you bring up a great point, right? We love and continue to love our families and our enemies.
Mhm.
We do not have to accept their lifestyles and their things, right? And this is what's amazing about what Christ said: follow me, shine the light in this world. This is what we do. If people do not accept it, then it's very simple.
Mhm.
Christ and God said, okay, we will give you up to your sinful nature. And not only that, just listen what I'm telling you, he will push you towards that sinful nature for a reason. If at some point you become so depressed, so uh, into a mind of what am I going to do, then if you are going to be saved, then you will come to Christ. And it's very hard for a lot of people to understand that.
Mhm.
That this is very hard for a lot of people to understand. Evil is does God do evil? Absolutely not. Does he uh, allow it to happen? Absolutely. But it happens because of his glory. And this is very difficult for a lot of people to understand. What I'm seeing today is our government is now involved in that same process to allow evil,
Mhm.
to condone it, to present to people that you can do whatever you want to do.
Mhm.
And this is awesome. Louisiana and Oklahoma passed legislation within the last couple of weeks that the Ten Commandments will be posted in every school in their state.
Mhm.
So, what has happened, and I love this, is they have understood that pressure from a government perspective and said, okay, enough is enough. Let's bring Christ and God's law back into our country. And this is what is happening. Do I believe or think that it's going to change? I am not a predictor. I'm not Christ. I can't predict the future. But what I do know is we're trying as much as we can uh, to bring the light of Christ into our environments
Mhm.
and to our legislators
Mhm.
to go out there and fight this evil back.
You know something, Bud, though? I don't hate anybody who thinks differently than I do. I
I
don't
don't
hate
either.
people who don't know what gender they
No,
are. I don't hate people who are gay. I don't hate people who are lesbian. I don't hate those. What I come to detest is people who try to divide us all. Those are the
absolutely.
people that I'd like to take a good belt whipping to. The ones that want us to be at each other's throats. And I've had people respond to me. I worked with a guy who was gay. And so he said, "Thank you for loving me as I am." Because I never said anything. It was none of my business. I just didn't
Right.
say anything. But now someone will ask, I will speak. If you ask me, I'm going to tell you. So anyway, he says that. Well, I saw him out marching for, gay rights and all this kind of stuff. And I said, I'm sorry, but I don't agree with that. Well, it shocked him because I said that. And I said, I don't agree with it. And he said, you don't understand the gay lifestyle. You don't understand what we all go through. And I said, stop it. And that's when I told him my dad was gay.
Yep.
That shocked him. And I said, do you think I hate my dad? I said, I don't hate my dad. I love my dad. I don't hate anybody. But see, it's the people who are in power who want us mad at each other. They want us to, they don't want us to get along with each other. So when people attack me on Facebook, I don't even attack back. what I do is I say, I love you, and I'm not going to let this destroy our friendship. I disagree with you, but I'm not going to argue with you.
The real issue is this, is God has given us rights, God-given rights, to be whoever we want.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way to put it. Right? So
it's free will. It's free will to make our own decisions.
Right. So if you make a decision to go here or there, whatever, go at it. The difference is when you push that ideology into the Christian environment and what I would consider the majority, even the secular world majority, when you push this saying, I have to have these rights, you're not giving me these rights. No, you already have a right. The difference is you're pushing your so-called rights on us individuals that are not like you. It's okay. You do what you want to do. Just shut the hell up. That's the way to say it, right?
That's the whole point. Because, okay, let's just say I like Hershey bars. Okay, I love chocolate. I really do. Well, there may be somebody you may not like chocolate. Am I going to shove it down your throat and make you eat it? No.
Great example.
I happen to like chocolate. I'm not going to shove it. I just figured it's that much more for me if you don't like it. So, but anyway, that's the point I'm trying to make. I don't want to go along with this division thing. I'm not going to go along with it. And that is Satan's greatest tool, is dividing people. And that's just what he does. I have relatives who are the biggest Democrats on earth. And they won't listen to reason. I can't do anything but say, I love you. I'm never going to believe you, and you're never going to believe me. So the best for us not to say anything. Okay. Yeah. That's just the way it is. So, I mean, that's what it is. It's people who want to divide us. That's where I get more disgusted. And then with our existing politicians who say, well, I think we need to sit down and talk. No, you don't. If you disagree with it, you don't have to be dogmatic about it. But if you don't agree with something, don't sit down and talk with them about it, because what's going to happen is they're going to make the strongest point. You're going to wind up being on their side. So it's best for you just to keep your beliefs. We're going to have to go into a commercial break. We're just a little bit behind, and we'll be right back in just a few minutes.
Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
We're back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show for Truth Matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, from 1 to 3 p.m. Central, by the way, as we get to ride home with each other. And again, that's 1 p.m. Central. Okay, now you need to do your own research. Okay, now I've got Bud with me right now, Bud Cornwell. And by the way, thank you so much for your service. I never remember to thank you enough.
Thank you very
And your
much.
military service, I mean, without folks like you, we wouldn't be able to sit here and talk about this stuff. So I'm proud. Thank you again so much. But
Liberty and freedom would be gone.
we wouldn't have it.
We would be Nazis, if you know what I mean.
If we're not careful, we're heading in that direction right now. So I want to talk to you. I want to know your opinion about Kamala Harris. And who do you think is going to be her running mate? Does she have a flying chance in you know where to be president of the United States? And are they working on something where we won't even have an election?
That's kind of weird. Thought about this for months, and I made predictions 4 or 5 months ago about what I would call the Democrats' closet, people in the closet to replace Biden. But before I go to this, I want to say something that's very important. Is Donna, Christ said this to conclude our conversation prior to this question. They hated me first. That's the best way to explain this. And when we are being hated, we must go back to Christ and understand that they hated him. They put him to death. Hopefully they will not put us to death. All right, so I'm gonna maybe blow your mind for a second. Okay, so Kamala Harris at this point is being promoted by Biden, specific people, but she is not being endorsed by a lot of Democrat endorsers or Democrat.
I don't think Obama is going to.
No,
It took Obama forever to actually endorse Biden. You remember that?
Yeah, absolutely. No, well, Obama hated Biden, and I still think he hates Kamala Harris. We have to have a strong leader. And if you think for a second that she's a leader, well,
she didn't handle that one little job that was given to her, and that's about the border.
Absolutely. Took her, 6-7 months before she even showed up, and then blamed again the cages of the kids, which was an Obama thing. All right, so let's talk about the shock effort here. I believe and I think that Biden should finish this administration as the president.
I do too.
Right? And people going, what?
No, I agree with you. I agree.
Because of the stability of the election process, and do not disrupt, what is going on. We're already, pushed back, whether you're a leftist or conservative, you're being pushed back with this massive media world. And if you think for a second that this woman, Harris, could be a substitute president, that's what I want to call it, right? And deal with all these world issues. Well, Biden didn't do it. She'll make it even worse. Guarantee it. She has no freaking clue. Even as the vice president, which she should have experience in all of these different countries. But she is absolutely clueless on the correct policies for this country. And so that's all part of the argument.
Well, now you can't giggle yourself into a situation. If you got a rough situation and something that is, there's serious stuff happens in this world. I could do better than she's going to do if she gets it. You can't giggle your way in and out of situations. You have to be strong. You got to think about, Biden has an excuse why he can't talk. She doesn't. Does that make sense? Yeah. Well, he was never anything before he got whatever it is he has now. Yeah. Before he got older, he made stupid, he lied, and he made all kinds of stupid decisions.
Oh, absolutely. And here's not the weird part. Here's the truth. He went from supporting the KKK, the racism, all that stuff, and then ended up being the president of the United States. You can't make this crap up.
That was swept under the rug, though. Had that been Trump. Oh, by the way, did you know this? Trump is the only U.S. president we've ever had who didn't have slaves in his family. You need to look that up.
Yeah, I did. That was awesome. And no, this is great. So this
even the left admitted that. The left didn't even fight about that. He's the only one we've ever had.
So let me ask you this. How are they going to portray Kamala Harris in the media today? And I can back you up, but I'm going to ask you that question. Okay. How are they going to present her to the United States?
The only thing they've got a leg to stand on that they feel they're successful at is abortion rights, a woman's right and that kind of thing. So they're going to really key her up on that one. Plus, she's a woman. Plus, she's black. So I mean, that's only three things and that's enough for them, I guess. But that's what they're going to do because they have run the entire world on a woman's right to choose. Now, don't forget. Now, some of these little babies that are being aborted are also girls. They should have that right too, but they don't. They're flushed down a toilet. But anyway, that's what she's going to run on: a woman's right to choose. And I'm black, and I'm a woman. That's all she's got.
Yep. So
is that going to be enough though with the stinking economy that we have?
No,
right now?
no. Think about what I'm fixing to tell you. It doesn't matter what she's going to run on. Mm-hmm. See, the media is going to paint her. They're going to direct her because she can't do it herself. She can talk, whatever. But I guarantee you, the mainstream media, they already started doing it. Hours, not days.
Too late. I already know
hours.
What he is, and a lot of folks already. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Hours after the Democrat Party said she's going to be the nominee, right? Which we're not sure of, but anyway, I follow lot of media, CNN, etc. Mm-hmm. What I found out is they are already developing polls. See, polls and sound bites is what brings a person to get elected.
Yeah.
Right. And Dan Bongino explains that in detail. The reason they took Biden out is because he did not produce enough sound bites. So here's what I'm telling you is Kamala Harris is incapable of producing a strong leadership soundbite as a candidate. So what is happening is the media is going, in which they already have, hours after, and put out these, quote, polls. And Fox News is one of them. Go look it up. That Kamala Harris is leading President Trump. It's very
way.
I know. What I'm saying is the truth of the media. They're going to escalate her through propaganda to say she is now the results of the failure of Biden. Check it out. It's coming.
Yeah, but this is what they're going to have to do, bud. They're going to have to use an awful lot of AI to get all of the giggling and cackling and all that stuff out of. They're going to have to use a lot of artificial intelligence to get rid of that, because every soundbite, everything I've ever heard her in. Okay, I'm all for women. Okay, I would love to see a woman president of the United States. I really would, because I'm one, but not her. So they're going to have to. How are you going to do this? Because even you and I know how to do video. We know how to do things. And so what we know, like if you were to accidentally say a curse word, well, then Phil is going to work on, or if I were to, which sometimes I'm getting close.
Take it out.
So I have to think sometimes. So if I were to accidentally say a word I should not say, Phil could bleep that out. So the artificial intelligence is there, but it's not perfected yet. You have to really look close, because they've used green screens to pretend Biden is in the White House. But here's the problem. Okay, normally speaking, when you see a president speaking and he's in the White House, you'll see the curtains move with air currents. They've got air conditioners even in the White House, okay? And it's going to move curtains. Do you ever wonder why the curtains never move? Do you ever just Now you and I are in the business, so we know what to look for.
Yeah.
So and
Still in
sometimes
this
when you
basement.
look for it, it just throws itself out at me.
Yeah.
But okay,
The
So-
normal Americans can't see that, right?
okay, but I want to ask you a question. So okay, so let's just say Obama and some of these folks are just not going to do it. Who in a Democrat's weak mind is going to be the person who saves the day on the Democrat side? If they really think, if the powers that be say it can't be Kamala, who is it going to be?
Well, the only other choice is the California governor.
Ugh.
That's I know it. I know what you're saying, and it shocks me that even that he would. If you look at a lot of even the left side media of who could be potential candidates, right? You got the lady in Minnesota, can't remember her name, but Gavin Newsom is on the top of the list. The reason behind that is the Democrat Party cannot release the leftist communist mentality, and unfortunately, this is what the voters have to deal with, is understanding liberty, peace, true liberty, peace, tax reduction, inflation goes down. They have to understand it. Or we can go to a person like Gavin Newsom, which will take California and spread that across the United States. He just passed a bill. Great example. Passed a bill to reject a parent's ability to challenge the education system that their child wants to be a quote transgender, right? And I can't think about what that would happen if this person was elected as the president of the United States.
Yeah, but people are leaving California by the droves.
Sure they are.
They can't pay the high taxes. I would think, okay, to a normal, intelligent person, I'm speaking to people who are Republicans and Democrats, okay? I would think the taxes that we're having to pay right now, they're going up. Okay, the cost of living, all of those things, and a lot of it's piped out of California, like it or not. It
Right.
is. And it just, and by the way, there are a lot of folks, conservatives who live in California. There are a lot of them, they're trapped. They can't get out. They can't afford to sell their homes to move anywhere else. They're
Right.
trapped in that place. So I'm going to think anybody who's got walking around gum chewing common sense whatsoever would think about that. I mean, California is a shipwreck. So why would I want you, if you're in California, you're running things, why would I want you to run the rest of the country?
Exactly. But it's a possibility.
Yeah, it is a
And
possibility.
we won't know this. Again, I'm not a person for a what you would call conspiracy thing. I want to see the facts. The fact that I know now is Kamala Harris is being promoted by the Democrat Party. The fact that I know now is she's not being supported by a lot of big money Democrats or Obama and so forth. So maybe they're sitting on the fence, and when they go to their DNC in August, there's no telling what's going to happen.
Oh, I think there's going to be a shot that's going to be heard around the world.
Yep.
And they're going to pull somebody out.
Is it possible that Hillary Clinton could be the nominee?
Yeah, it's possible. And I think it's possible for her. I think Michelle Obama. I really do. I think there's a number of possibilities that they love to do shock jock. You know what I mean by shock jock? They want to shock people.
Yep.
And most people would be shocked. Because you're beginning to hear a lot from Hillary lately. She's not out of the limelight. She still feels like somebody owes her something. She feels like she's owed to be president. She still believes that.
But the biggest issue we have to deal with, doesn't matter who is the candidates, etc. We have to deal with what is happening with the election laws and how people have the ability to vote. So
that's the biggest thing right there.
Right.
You just nailed it.
Yeah. So let me tell you, this is the truth. A immigrant can get a license to drive in X states, right? Whatever it is. And when they go to the DMV, which I have experienced here in Alabama to renew my license, they ask me if I want to register to vote and tell me what party, etc. And then I'm registered through the DMV, right? So now you have an immigrant that comes in. They have been paid what we would call Social Security. They have housing. They have medical, free everything. And they go and to the DMV and they get a driver's license. You know, specific states again. And then they register them to vote. Now, here's the issue. Will that person actually go and vote? Doesn't matter to the Democrats. If they selected, I'm a Democrat, they will take that paperwork and fill out a ballot for that person, even if they don't show up to vote. That's the biggest issue.
Do I look shocked that you're saying that? I'm not shocked at all. As a matter of fact, I still say, I know this sounds crazy, but I still think that Trump should have been our president. I really think he got the vote. I just do.
No, he did. He did. But this is the steal on steroids.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, no doubt something is being worked on right now, even as we speak. Mickey Mouse could run for president and on the Democrat side and would be president. It doesn't matter who it is.
Yep. I said that a couple of weeks ago on social media. You know, just put Mickey Mouse up there, hell with Hillary.
We'd be better off if it were Mickey Mouse. We would be much, much better off. We're going to have to call it a day. About a minute left in the segment. What would you like to say before you go?
Thank you very much. Donna is awesome. Thank you for bringing me on your show.
Always.
I do have a podcast called The Patriot Cause. You can also go to thepatriotcause.com and review the website. And again, thank you so much for allowing me to come on your show.
Thank you. And thank you again for your service. Definitely appreciate it, bud. Absolutely. We're friends. We're the best of friends.
Yep.
And thank you guys so much for watching. You know what? This is the reason we do this is because of all the messages we get from you. You can continue sending emails, Donna@donnasedge.com. And I do promise you, I read every single one of them. Sometimes it takes me a while to respond, but I do. And I also check the spam folder because that's where a lot of them go for some reason. So anyway, who knows? But thank you. Thank you both so much for being on the show. Definitely appreciate that. And thank you again so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day.